Anyway, it's soon going to be Bernice's 72nd or 71st birthday. I think 71st because she was born in 1916, so she's going to be 71. And this is the letter I wrote her. August 21st, 1987. Dear Bernice, happy birthday. I hope you are having a happy birthday. It's been a while since I last got in touch, and I'm sorry. The last time I wrote, I was thinking of becoming a correctional officer, but thank God my stupidity came in handy and I flunked the correctional officer test. A strike of Sacramento teachers started, and I got a job being a teacher's substitutional aide where I tried to teach retarded children how to read, etc. It was an okay job, but the pay is so lousy that I'm quitting that and going into philosophy. I'm going into a philosophy major at Sacramento State this fall. I doubt that I'll enjoy philosophy, and I'm thinking of writing a movie script that will hopefully be successful, no matter how unrealistic that idea is. But hey, I guess it will give me a chance to dream. Anyway, things haven't been that exciting this summer. As a matter of fact, this has probably been the most boring summer I have ever experienced. It seemed to have promises at the beginning, because it looked like Bible prophecy could have been coming true. But apparently I and my family were just building a lot of biblical meaning around all the bad news we were getting from the media. I believe that I have finally learned to quit putting meaning into things where there really isn't any, because now, wow, talk about a waste of time and energy. I guess nothing really changes. For me, the only good news I'm experiencing is that for me, the only new thing I'm experiencing is that I'm losing my hair. But, well, that's normal for a percentage of the male population. We can't all be good looking. If we were, it would probably be boring. Maybe this fall I can find a girl who likes balding, neurotic Woody Allen types that I seem to be turning into. Actually, I don't think I'm becoming neurotic. I'm just bored. Oh well. Anyway, Bernice, I really hope and pray that everything is going well for you. If you ever see Ken Washington again, tell him that I said hi, and maybe if I can ever come down with a good screenplay or something that I can give you money to travel with, I'll come down and visit you, and we can talk about the good times we experienced together, no matter how few they were. With love, your old ex-helper, Bruce. August 25th, 1987, Tuesday morning. August 25th, 1987, Tuesday morning. I began writing and typing my first real Newton movie script. Of course, I wrote one over 2 years ago, but believe it or not, of all the movies I have written, all the movie scripts that is, I think Newton vs. the Black Mutant may be the most entertaining of all the things I've ever written. This script is the same as the last and best Newton novel, Newton in the 20th Century. It's not really the best, but it's the most promising, actually. But I'm changing a lot of stuff in it to make it commercial, not to mention sequel material. I'm changing Newton's history, etc. Newton and crew aren't as old in this story. Anyway, hopefully this screenplay will rescue me out of a boring, depressing, atheistic existence of philosophy teaching and studying. The more I think about it, the more I'm beginning to dread the thought of going into philosophy. My faith in a God who cares isn't very strong now, and I'm afraid that this atheistic garbage could end up being the straw that breaks my Christian back. Anyway, last Sunday, Laura and Julie came over. We then went with Laura's boyfriend, Al, to a very nice miniature golf course. Kevin and Doug followed us out there. See, Doug McClure came with us. And we had a nice time playing miniature golf. After that, we played a few video games. Julie watched me play Punch-Out, a boxing video game. Then she and I played Laura and Al and foosball. We became tired of that. We became tied in that. After that, we left. Anyway, Julie is a very nice girl. I have a hard time believing she's only 25 years old, though. She has very fair white skin with freckles. She has the same skin my mom has. Plus, she has a lot of gray, like my mom used to have. She has nice blue eyes. Anyway, I wish the best for Julie as well as I wish the best for Laura. Maybe in a few years when I'm a balding, neurotic, desperate, insane atheist, I'll marry one of them. Why did I write that? Huh. Aunt Millie really likes Julie, so does Grandma. Both of them think she's really pretty. I wonder if they think I'm queer for not being more attracted to her. I hope there isn't anything the matter with me. I think Julie is very pretty also, but I'm not attracted to her for some reason. I feel that same way for Laura. Maybe it's because I see eternity written all over them. Marriage is forever. Boy, do I feel cruddy. Back again. Hello. I don't know if I can finish this. Alright. Anyway, Doug got married to a Korean girl named Moo Lee. He showed me pictures of her. He really loves her. I think Julie and Laura are a lot prettier than Moo. I guess beauty really is in the eye of the beholder. Anyway, there was something I was going to say, but I forgot what it was. Over now. P.S. What I forgot to write was that my Aunt Millie is in the hospital again. It doesn't sound good either. August 27th, 1987, Thursday afternoon. Guess what? I'm not going to major in philosophy. I thought about it and became very depressed, realizing that I'd probably become a super atheist if I got into it. Plus, I really don't want to teach something boring like philosophy. Even if I really knew that there was a God who cares, and even if I really truly had the truth, I just don't want to waste 6 more years of my life in something that will depress and bore me. Life is just too short. As far as I am concerned, I don't care if I ever read another philosophy book or religious book again. I feel that I want to stay away from theological issues as much as I can, because I could never change anyone with my superior knowledge. Even if I had superior knowledge, people would still think I was insane with my religion, probably, but this is besides the point. I just don't get excited about religious arguments anymore. I had a lot of fun confronting people in different religions, like Jehovah's Witness, etc., but now that just doesn't thrill me anymore. It actually bores me, because even though I think I win all the arguments, logically, I just don't get excited about that anymore, because it never changes. The person I argue with never change. People will believe in what they want to believe, right or wrong. Probably that's the same way with me. Melanie is still an atheist, Eddie is still a queer, still gay. As far as I can see, they'll probably die that way. Anyway, I'm just getting tired of religion. I'm getting tired of religion in every form. And since my parents' theories on Bible prophecy are proving to be false, I can no longer get excited about reading the Bible, since it can be interpreted to fit any problem. The news reports I have finally given up reading Bible prophecy, and wow, talk about relief. I actually feel like I'm becoming normal. Normal and free. Watching rapture dates come and go really depresses me no end. Now, since I realize that it has always been that way and will always be this way, I'm never going to bother reading the Bible or watching the news again. Besides, Bible prophecy and news is really depressing. The only time Bible prophecy isn't depressing is when you realize that Christ could return. All that the Bible has revealed to me, as far as prophecy goes, is that in every generation that has been and will be to come, it will always look like Bible prophecy is being fulfilled, and that the rapture and the second coming are imminent. The Bible will always read like a newspaper, always, for eternity. And I just am finally getting to the realization that that's the way it is. The rapture could happen now, of course, but after being depressed and disappointed so many times now, I don't think I'd get that excited if it took place. I'm just going to try to live what's left of my life as normal and as carefree as possible, and avoid prophecy and news as much as possible. I think it will be easy because now nothing seems to be happening. Anyway, I've decided not to major in philosophy, but to try to become a high school drama teacher. Since I wasted so many years of my life in drama, I might as well make the best of it. Who knows? Maybe I'll enjoy it. I went back and forth to CSUS 3 times today. I met Melanie. Actually, she met me. When I met Melanie, I wasn't very happy because I was still majoring in philosophy. Melanie told me that she thought I'd be making a big mistake in it since I'm narrow-minded. Well, she didn't say that. It wasn't that harsh. Well, she didn't say that. She also told me, something like that. She also told me that I should not bother with philosophy, but maybe go to Sacramento City College and see if I can get a job. She also told me that I'm carrying too many of my dad's problems, making me religious, and that I should see a psychiatrist, since depression runs in my family. I said, huh. Janet Gardner was with her, and she told me that Melanie is seeing a psychiatrist. I said, why? Melanie really didn't give me a clear answer. But she sure thinks that I need one. Anyway, after that I said bye, and I went home. I told Grandma that I didn't want to be in philosophy. She was happy, so was Kevin. They thought I would be wasting a lot of time and money, plus happiness in something that's really dead. Grandma then tried to talk me into teaching children. It sounded good, but I was afraid that would eventually bore me, so on my way over to CSUS again, I finally made it in my mind not to be a teacher, but a drama teacher, since I had wasted so much of my life in drama already. Who knows? I might even like it. The third time I went to CSUS, I met Julie Reynosa, the very skinny Mexican girl I met back in 1984, who was in my history of the theater class. Anyway, Julie was very pretty then, but very skinny. She had anorexia. Well, she was borderline, that's for sure, and wanted to get skinnier. But when I saw her today, she had filled out and looked really pretty, even without her makeup, turning me on. She wanted my phone number. I gave it to her, and she gave me hers. Who knows? I just may have fun with a pretty, fun girl, and a girl who likes me, so I think I might like this semester a lot. Over and out, Mr. Changing Directions. August 28th, 1987, Friday night. Speaking of Mr. Changing Directions, I changed directions again this morning. My parents called to see what I had decided on. Grandma told them that I was no longer going to be a major in philosophy, but to get my credentials so I could become a high school drama teacher. Hearing this got my mom very depressed, telling me that I'd hate it, and that it would be pure hell because I'd have to have an English teacher also. I'd have to be an English teacher also, and I'd be horrible at that because I'm dyslexic. So convincing were my parents that they talked me out of trying to become a drama teacher. They then said that since I had the retard background, that I should become a retard teacher because I would know how to relate to the learning handicapped kids better than a teacher who never had my problems. So I went back to Sac State and went to see what the advisor thought, but the advisor wasn't there, and the special ed told me to come back Monday and see what the advisor says, so I will. Oh well. Anyway, I have dreaded the thought of teaching special ed since I hated it for the last spring, but who knows? Maybe God can brainwash me into liking it. This week has been very depressing for me. My Newton movie script is turning out to be super boring. The dialogue doesn't carry the action at all, and I can't seem to make the thing interesting and original. I guess I'm just destined to be a retard teacher. A learning handicap teacher. After all, oh well. At least I'll be sustaining what's left of my life through a career. Man, how am I bored? How I am bored. I really just don't seem to be able to get interested in anything. Everything is so super boring. I hate to admit it, but I don't see any point to my existence whatsoever. The belief in God who cares and the belief in an afterlife seems very difficult for me to believe in now. I just can't see any point to life. To life of anything. Everything is boring to me. Over and out, you know who. P.S. I believe the reason why everything is so boring is because my drugs, Bible prophecy, have turned out to be all wrong. Bible prophecy was the only thing I kind of found excitement in. Now that that is turning out to be nothing is exciting. I'm now like an addict who needs a fix and who has forgotten how to be normal. I feel like I'm now living in some absurd, stupid nightmare where I'll have to play the work till you drop game like everyone else. You know, maybe Melanie is right. Maybe I do need to see a shrink. I certainly am not happy. As a matter of fact, I feel really fucked up. Over and out. September 1st, 1987, Tuesday afternoon. Well, I decided not to teach learning handicapped kids after all, even though I'd probably be good at it, and even though I prayed and flipped a coin 10 times to see what field God would like me to go into, which my grandma thought was a screwy thing to do. I have decided not to teach the handicapped, but I know this is going to against what I said earlier. I am going to major in religious studies after all. I feel that it will either make me or break me, so I'm going to see if I can get my doctorate in that area so I can be a college teacher. My parents don't know what I have made this decision yet. It will be interesting talking to them because this dry spell California is going through is causing forest fires to spring up all over the place. Who knows? By next month, my parents' home may be burned down, with all my writings, tapes, and recordings, etc. I have a strong feeling that our house will eventually burn down. Call it ESP if you want, but I have this feeling that it will. I had a dream a long time ago that I woke up and found fire burning everything. It was pretty realistic, except the fire wasn't that hot. Maybe that meant I had already died in the fire. Last night I took Lee Ward, now Lee Weinberger, to a Christian theater group she wanted to go to. After it was over, she felt she had made a mistake in coming, me especially. The director, David Rhodes, who was the late-night disc jockey of KFIA, is a frustrated actor, director, writer, and wants us in his lousy, boring, stupid, unoriginal plays that reek of preachy Christianness. I know it's not nice to say, but, well, maybe it's because, wait, yes, they are bad. And I don't know if I want to waste my time and gas going to rehearse you aren't going to believe it, but he wants me to act out a toy soldier part in his play, The Toymaker. You know, it's really funny. I'm always getting soldier parts, or cop and guard parts. It's really kind of funny. I played a cop in Pancho Villa, a gargoyle-type cop in The Trial, a goblin patrol leader in The Hobbit, a Gestapo in The Hiding Place, a Greek soldier in Troilus and Cressida, a Nazi soldier in The Hiding Place. I can't think of any others. Oh well. I played a bunch of soldiers getting shot up in Brothers in a stupid movie that promised me the world and disappointed and it promised me the world and disappeared. Oh well. Anyway, I'm really not looking forward to going back. Today I went to Sac State to pick up syllabuses to take to Davis to see if I can take classes at Sac State that will transfer. Over and out. P.S. I can't believe I forgot to report this, but last Sunday Julie Reynosa called me to see how I was doing. I couldn't believe it. Apparently she really likes me. I called her up later on and asked if she wanted to go out to the fair, but she said she was busy. Later on, Myron and his family came over. We then went to the really neat miniature golf course called the Mine Shaft, and I beat everyone in golf. Over and out. P.P.S. It will be interesting to see what comes about with Julie Reynosa. She's a pretty girl who seems very sexual. P.P.S. Julie Monroe, according to Laura, wants me to call her. Over and out for now. September 8th, 1987, Tuesday morning. I, Kevin, and Grandma went to Susanville last Friday and stayed till yesterday. Anyway, I don't have anything important to report except, well, my parents became excited from learning that the rapture could take place this fall because of the Psalms. The Psalms appear to be prophetic and seem to be able to fit the years of the 20th century. Psalm 88, which could possibly equal the date 1988, seems to show someone realizing that he has missed the rapture, and Psalm 94 seems to be Armageddon. Anyway, what I'm saying is that the Psalms seem to fit the years of the 20th century, being that Israel became a nation in this century. I read and listened to the few of the Psalms, and by George, they seem to definitely fit. Either that, or I'm just hopefully putting meaning into things again. Anyway, I would love for the Psalms to be a guide to the rapture, but I'm afraid to really study them from the fear that nothing will take place this Rosh Hashanah, and a big part of my faith will be missing again. I told my dad that I think the Bible is written in such a way as to make the rapture look like it will always take place, no matter what time in history or the future you may be in. I personally think the Psalms thing is just another thing to depress me when nothing takes place this September. Anyway, what else? In Susanville, we saw the video movies Crocodile Dundee, Ruthless People, the Undergrads, which Grandma liked, and believe it or not, the last part of Wisdom, where I walked with a girl in the background for a brief moment. We didn't watch Wisdom because my parents rented it 3 weeks ago and became bored, silly, and angry. They hated the movie and didn't see me in it. Anyway, they saw me when I pointed myself out. It didn't help matters, since I was kind of blurry. It still resulted in a boring time. Oh well. Man, am I tired. What else? I decided to go to Davis to major in religious studies after all. What else? I got out of the Christian theater group. I had Dave Rhodes call me, and I told him that I didn't want to waste his or my time if I wasn't going to be totally committed. What else? Over and out. Mr. Bored and Tired. September 9th, 1987. Wednesday afternoon. I read Psalms last night to see if the theory that Psalms revealed prophecy in relation to the 20th century and beyond, and the theory falls flat on its face. For instance, if Psalms shows Israel becoming a nation in 1947 with Psalm 47, how come in Psalm 50 or 51, how come a psalm after that talks about the yearning for God to form Israel? Plus, in 1967, Israel became a nation, yet Psalm 67 doesn't mention it. Also, it talks about animal sacrifices, etc. How can they, when there is no temple, how can they have these sacrifices? Also, in Psalm 95 and on, deal with the millennium, how come there is a psalm where someone is asking God to destroy his enemies and kill and hurt them? It sure doesn't sound like a Christian speaking, and isn't the world during the millennium supposed to be nothing but Christians who love and don't have enemies since Satan is gone? With that, I realize, once again, the rapture won't take place this fall, or year, or maybe never. Over and out. Mr. Depressed Agnostic. P.S. Oh yeah, P.S. Reading the Psalms always depressed me for some reason. I wonder why. There are things in it that seem to show Christ, though. P.P.S. This may sound weird, but I'm getting the urge to see if I can successfully develop my body again through animation. Right now I weigh 160, but in order to make this work, I'll drop down to 150, then work myself back up and beyond to the point where I'd start losing my looks. But I'd get it all in animation. Anyway, I'm thinking of joining a health club. Maybe I could meet a female. Anyway, thinking about this is probably okay, but doing it could be wrong. I've tried it before, but something always stopped me. It could be God trying to keep me from hurting my body, maybe. Anyway, what I was thinking of doing was what I failed to do a year ago. And I'm glad because after seeing some of the pictures I took of myself... Well, believe it or not, you've come to the end of this tape. Too bad I didn't have anything interesting to report. Oh well, maybe next time. I hope you got something out of it. Maybe you enjoyed it. Maybe on the next tape it'll be better. Over now, Bruce Ramsey. Bye-bye.